Yeah. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to The Good Show, episode 45. We're in our Starcraft segment of the evening now. And to kick things off, we're going to go ahead and hop right into WCS news, which is...
where Mike talks to us.
Exactly,
and
man.
we listen intently.
He's been so patient through the CSGO and the Quake Live. It's now his
I
time
reckon
to
he's
shine.
got some really good stuff for us this week.
I do too. So, WCS
probably-
America wrapped up. Mike, we got 5 players heading over to Korea this weekend.
Do you reckon they'll have a hard time, the
One.
Americans, getting a visa to go over to Korea?
There were some. I think they'd be fine, but there aren't any, so I don't think it's an issue.
Thing is anybody really surprised by this outcome?
Korea face Korea.
I was surprised that there was non-Koreans in the top 8 of WCS America, so
Moonglade and Snoot.
yes. And I mean, I even thought the top 16, could have been all Korean. I mean, what was it? I think it was only Suppy and Scarlet were the other
Yep.
non-Koreans. So
Moonglade too.
no, I mean he was in the round of 8 as like
sorry,
just the additionally. So the round of 16, I think it was just 4. So I mean, yeah, WCS America wrapped up. I don't know. Did you guys watch much of it?
Actually, the only time I watched it was when I came into your room. How many times did I come into your room?
That sounds dirty.
Late at night.
It was dirty.
The
Twice
walls
on my
are thin.
face and once on my back, I think. So
Yeah, so 3 times.
okay,
And each time was a disappointment.
yeah. Well, when you got Rotterdam,
It
on
was
the
o-
screen
it was
with the
over too
shaved head,
quickly.
It's just like it's really hard to get it done. But yeah, I mean, WCS America finished off. I think Heroes kind of been playing really well. Obviously, the competition isn't as stiff as WCS Korea. I think the community has kind of been more about the. What are you laughing at?
He's giggling about.
You said stiff.
Steph. That's the only thing that was stiff about WCS America.
I really ruined this segment already, haven't I? So can we start again? So WCS America
America.
came to a close. 5 Koreans advanced. I watched a little bit of it. Mike watched more. What did you make of it, Michael?
All right, so people are tired of talking about production value now. So this is where we talk about entertainment value.
Well, it's all
Change
about
it
the
up, man.
amateur.
The show.
The show, guys. We're going to talk
The show.
about the show. Hellspawn, what do you think about the show?
I think as excited I was for MLG Arena back in 2012 and what they delivered, let's take the venue, keep the venue and remove the rest. It was like how I felt. I wasn't entertained. I didn't feel hype coming into it. I didn't really like it when I saw it. I think Mr. Bidder and Rotterdam did a really good job. I think that the community went after Axel Toss and Axlab really hard. I saw like on Reddit one of the biggest posts was like, please keep Mr. Bidder and Rotterdam for the final and stuff like that. That's not fun for like the casters that MLG has chosen and used for the whole way for WCS. That's not how it should be. I also think that building it up to it hasn't been as good as, for example, European side. So it seemed weak in comparison.
I mean, how much do you reckon Axlav and Axel Toss pay MLG to work there?
I don't know. Some rubs on the back for Sundance, maybe.
Oh, no, wait. MLG pay Axlav and Axel Toss. I got it the wrong way around.
Right. So,
What are you guys...
Hellspawn, but to say, I wanted to add though that there was actually an appreciation thread as well.
Yeah,
Same for
that's
Axel.
what I
exactly.
saw, and
Yeah.
that was
There
big
was an
also.
appreciation thread, so it wasn't all just one way bullshit.
And it's
as
gonna
usual.
always be like, I like this caster, I hate this caster, I like
Yeah.
this, it's bad, it's good, it's bad. I mean, you always have your different taste, but I don't know, this tournament, I didn't see the hype for it.
There wasn't.
I
the
mean,
flame.
I said on the prior show, I thought part of why WCS Europe was good was because they really prepared for it. And part of what they did was they were like, yeah, fuck all these Challenger League games. We're going to get some other people to cast it. And they had outside talent do it. And I'm sure, I have no idea, but I'm guessing there's people volunteering, the game social guys. So it's like...
I still would say, though, the WCS Challenger in Europe was kind of good. I think that the ones doing it was like 4 or 5 guys. They did it
Yeah.
really good.
Yeah, no, it's...
Overall, it was good entertainment. Of course, not what could expect from.
Well, I liked it because it created kind of like, it's like, okay, I'm tuning into WCS Europe, and there's a Challenger League, so I'm kind of getting casters I don't know, lower level games, lower level production, but it's unique. And then when I tune into Premier League, it's like, all right, here's Kalaris and whoever in a studio with some kind of producer there, and just more graphics, more whatever. So it creates something different. Whereas so it's like it kind of has this, where WCS America has kind of been like this, and it's like kind of just trucked along, kind of gone up a bit. But yeah, I mean, to me they got dealt like a, they got dealt, queen high against, ESL, who got, a much better hand than that, right? So they had a really hard time because the Koreans are boring, and it's just what it is. I mean, and then there just wasn't hype. I don't know what else to really say.
Yeah, just for the record, by the way, I do actually enjoy watching Axlav and Axel Toss, which is the one I'm fond of. I can't remember his name. Is it the Axlav one?
The one with the beard?
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's
Axlav.
Yeah. No, I actually like watching him. It's kind of like watching one of those drawn-out series, like The Walking Dead. Like eventually at the end they're just going to be like, fuck it, and blow their brains out, but you don't know when. So you just keep tuning in to see when they're just going to end it.
I was just waiting, man, to see where you were going to go with that, because I knew there wasn't anything you could possibly say that would be nice or good or constructive.
Actually, the funny thing is,
I
I actually watch them with Mike, and I'm like, I don't understand why everyone complains, because to me they're just like commentators that do fine. Because I actually I don't understand Starcraft that much. I actually don't dislike them at all.
They're not my favorite casters, but I don't find them that objectionable to listen to. One thing I kind of feel like is that you look at ESL, I think Red Eye's kind of there, and he's so much TV experience, he kind of gives people feedback and whatnot. And I mean, to nitpick one thing that Axel Toss does a lot, he's always flicking a pen around, and it's kind of like, it just takes someone there to tell him, be like, hey man, you should look at this, and maybe not flick that pen around. And I feel like they're not kind of getting feedback to improve.
Well, here's a good segment of the show. Here's a good segment of the show then. Let's give feedback to Axlav and Axeltos live now. Mike's turn first. So you've got the pen thing. So you want Axeltos to stop doing the pen.
I mean, I just noticed he's flicking a pen around, and I find it like no one else flicks the pen around. So
that's good feedback.
Okay.
So pen, Hellspawn, what have you got for him?
It's a hard one. I don't know. I'm not the expert on this field. Prior, it's always felt like when I watched, I think it was the qualifications coming into MLG, it just felt like they weren't as prepared for some of the players.
So
I didn't feel like they were connected with the players. I don't know how it was for this.
Yeah, the two
I just
Ps,
watched some to see how it looked.
Similar to Red Eye, he does the 4 Ps. So we've got the 2 Ps, pens and preparation, but no pens being the P.
Use the pen before the show. Use the pen during the show and not
to
for
prepare, rather than on the show. Semmler, what have you got for him?
I'm not gonna play along. It's not our place.
Don't play along.
I have a
Yeah, go on.
I have a suggestion, but it's not about the casters though. It's about how they can fix the OCS America.
Oh.
Transfer to save the day.
All
I hope
right,
Mike Moorheim's
what you got?
listening. Let's
Make
go.
it so that the winner of each WCS America, right, also gets a green card. Just throw a green card in there as top prize, right? 3-4 seasons down the line, you're going to have a legit American champion. Boom. Problem fucking solved. Why isn't Blizzard doing this?
Whatever.
Maybe you have to be a resident of the region you're playing.
So I think Axlav should grow his hair out and slick it back like a gangster.
You realize
He
he
did have some
used
of
to
that.
have that, and he
Yeah.
looked like a badass.
Yeah.
Like, he looked
Axlav's
fucking
awesome.
fantastic. When
And
he was
Axel
there.
Toss, I don't really know. I have no feedback for him. Be more awesome.
I mean, I thought they really need someone in kind of the designated interviewer / host
Who
position.
did that, by the way?
It
Was
was
that
just,
Mr. Bidder?
No, they had Axel.
it would
They
be-
had Axel Toss doing that.
yeah, the only person who I think really didn't, maybe he did, I don't remember seeing it, but it was basically just either Axel Toss or Mr. Bitter or Rotterdam, depending who was in casting, one of them would do it. And I mean, during the round of 16, it would, where they didn't have Total Biscuit for 2 of the days, it was just like Axel Toss would go and do an interview, and then be like, I don't know, I guess they'd always have to cut to commercial or whatever, and then he'd be back at the desk, and it reminds me of one of the IPTL things, the finals, those live, it was like Castradamus or Kevin Nakia
Yeah.
doing the big epic
Introduction,
intros.
and then he would
And
sit
then he
down
just,
to himself.
Then he just kind of puts the mic down and then walks over to the desk. And it's like,
Get ready as we go over to our
Really?
casters to take this away. Yeah,
Dude,
because he'd do
that's
like
a good one.
he'd do like all the big intro, and then he'd be like he'd hand it off, and then the next thing you'd see was him at the commentary desk being like, "Welcome."
Dude, I did that once.
It's like running the
DreamHack
show.
Summer.
but-
Hey, Hellspawn, you remember that BLC at the DreamHack Summer in the Dream Arena Extreme? I was
Oh,
hosting. I was
I've
hosting
done
the main
that for
event.
DreamHack, yeah.
Yeah, I was hosting the finals. So I do the big intro. You know, we're getting into BLC now, and
On
that,
the stage,
Yeah, and then they get footage of me sprinting up the stairs to the caster desk, sitting down,
Yeah,
and then
but
doing
James
the
did
fucking
too,
game.
back in
Yeah.
2009.
Yeah. No, before that, I think.
Counter-Strike.
No, I did it for. Oh, yeah, I did Counter-Strike and Quake, and basically because I was the host and Joe was like, I'm not fucking hosting. I was like, okay, I'll do it. I was like, all right, guys, are you ready? And everyone was like, yeah. And then I had like 20 seconds to get from the stage up
To
to
the
the
caster,
commentary
yeah.
desk. So the next thing they saw when the camera cut, everyone in the audience was just watching me, and I was like, don't fall, don't fall, don't fall, don't fall,
Yeah.
don't fall. And I'm sure some kids were going to be like, and trip me over, but they didn't. That was nice of them.
But I mean, from last year, one of the biggest things were from the arenas, which overall I think the arenas last year was really good. I missed them in quite a lot, not a lot. Was that where's the audience? This event would have been so much awesome if it was the audience. I don't remember some of the Korean one was at MKP. He didn't even know if he won or not.
yeah, that was
Yeah.
bad. That was
And I mean, not to be like that, but okay. We had that last year. It worked. It was good. No audience. And then you run the same thing, and where they had the tournament area, couldn't have had like maybe 20 in the audience or 40 like ESL, and then it would have been so much better.
I mean, I've been to the office. I think they could have fit. You know, all it takes is like 15 people just to kind of be
it
there,
up.
right?
They should. Where was Robert? Where were
mean-
you?
We had an audience.
Put two of you,
Yeah,
man.
I mean, we put a
Yeah.
pub stomp, right? I mean, it could have been done. I mean, I think it's kind of awkward for MLG because, I mean, they're in like an office that's like full of like lawyers and whatever else. I mean, I don't know if like logistically being like inviting 15 random civilians up is what the doorman likes to see, and if might get in trouble for that.
Sorry, no civilians.
Well, no, but it's just like,
No. There's just a
This
dress
is
code. They have to wear
the
a suit
evil
and tie.
Sundance headquarters. Only henchmen allowed in
I
here.
don't know. I don't know. It's not zoned for a broadcast. I don't know, man. It's office space. But yeah, I really think they needed a live audience. I think at very least, what they should have done for the finals is Hero one. So it's like you've got Snoot there, you've got Hoppid there, you've got Heyoka there, you've got some other team of people. You probably just have some other random people. Just kind of when he wins, be like, all right, you guys are the TL guys. If he wins, go over to him and be
Running.
like, woohoo! And then you've got if Revival wins, you've got was it Alive?
Alive is
and
there, yeah.
I think Cody was there, and some other people from EG probably there. Be like, all right, if he wins, go over and be like, woohoo! All right, he won. You know, like do
Anything.
something instead of like Hero gets up and like paces in a circle and just waits.
I still remember DreamHack Summer 2011 where Huck won, and like 20 of those TL guys were just
Yeah.
storming the booth and throw
Yeah.
him up in the air and everything like that.
Yeah.
That's how it should be
Exactly.
when winning a tournament.
Somebody did you see the YouTube video where they put hype and shit?
They put the GSL final
Yeah.
sound
Yeah.
over it.
That was like summed it up.
One other thing I felt.
I just had this crazy image. Oh, sorry, in my head. They got the MLG arena desk, and then it's run by DreamHack, but there's no audience, and the only person there from DreamHack is Robert, and Hero wins, and it's just Robert, drunk as fuck, running on stage, going mental, wearing like glasses and a party hat,
Champagne.
just celebrating by himself with Hero. That would be cool. I would watch that. I think Sundance should have done that.
Was Sundance even on the show?
No,
Where was Sundance?
I mean,
Behind the stage.
Where
oh,
in the
you
world?
think he should have like kind of
Increase?
made a presence? Yeah.
I don't know. He usually does. Wasn't he at the arena?
I don't think I ever remember him going on an arena stream. Usually he would intro the show for the big events, but even at Dallas it was DJ Wheat who did the big
Oh, yeah.
show intro. So
Sundance comes on at the beginning of the NMLG live events, and he reads off the sponsors he'd like to thank.
Yeah.
I just said he didn't do that at the last
But he
one.
didn't.
Did
do
he
that
not?
last one. And I don't remember
they
seeing him.
DJ Wheat intro the show.
I remember
last
seeing him
time.
at an arena once, but that was pretty much it. I can't remember which one it was. But it's just like he's taking a step back from that.
But the other one thing I feel that kind of only MLG does that really detracts from like watching StarCraft is they advertise between every single game, and when you have a 120-second break between every single game, it just to me like no everyone else it's between
Kills
best
the
of
flow.
threes or if it's a best of 5, best of 7 after like 3 games.
I mean, how many seconds was it? 120?
Yeah,
I mean, how many K-pop songs is that?
That's not that funny. I don't know. That's weak, James. Try better next time, please. But yeah, I mean, it's funny because people are always like, oh, MLG's got so much downtime. It's like, it's not downtime. It's time they've allotted to running ads, and you're either not getting ads, you're ad blocking, or whatever else. And like, yeah, because I think they would do 100, I guess 180 is the max. Yeah, 3-minute blocks. So, I mean, I'd just rather see like longer breaks between series as opposed to breaks between games because it's just like you're trying to watch a series and it just kind of kills the hype when it's like, all right, be right
Now
back,
we get
guys.
back in,
Like,
yeah, exactly.
but I mean, overall, I thought MLG kind of pulled it off. I mean, it was a solid show. There weren't big hiccups. It was just kind of like, yeah, WCS America. I mean, and I don't know. It'll be interesting to see like the rest of Challenger League.
But Challenge League has almost had greater numbers, or?
For WCS America. These guys are all distracted. What's up? What's going on here?
Chance is saying...
Axel talks in chat and he was correcting the break thing. 100
Oh.
games.
Yeah,
180
yeah.
games,
I thought that's what I said. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It just no one else does that. So maybe it's because no one else does it. I notice it, and it feels like
Yeah, it
it's
could
like,
be that.
it's just not what people are used to. Because yeah, it's just people are always like, oh, it's so much downtime. It's like it's not downtime. It's advertising time.
It's also, I don't know,
So you're happy with it?
No.
Yeah, okay. You think it's too much?
Yeah, I think it's too much.
Yeah. No, I agree.
I mean-
I didn't like it with NASL.
Yeah, no, yeah. Oh, I should say NASL would also advertise between every game. Yeah.
Yeah.
This-
Between each game.
Every map, like
Map,
like
yeah.
in a best of 3, they're game 1 commercial, game 2 commercial, and
It seems to be very standard, though. I mean, if you want to tie this into major sports leagues in the United States, whenever they televise a game, like, feels like 60%
well, the
of
thing
it
is
is
you
ads
translate
at the same
it.
time.
You don't
Yeah,
want
so
to
it
be
could be a
pissed off
cultural
there's an
thing.
advert coming because then you're pissed off at the people advertising. In a way, you know what I mean? I am. I get insulted sometimes when people just
Yeah, when it's over the top and obnoxious.
throw stuff
I mean,
at me too much.
you compare it to
Well, it's
TV
like power
and
breaks in
it's-
NHL.
You've got what 22-minute
NHL.
show and then 8 minutes of ads, and that's your 30 minutes, right? So you think about it in terms of a StarCraft game, 15-minute game, ad, 15-minute game. It's pretty much TV standards, but I think that's why like
People
our
are used to it,
generation
yeah.
hate fucking TV, and like no one has the patience to watch TV, and I feel like the same kind of applies here.
I download Game of Thrones, but every 15 minutes I take a break and load some YouTube channels and get ads for the whole
Build
TV
that hype.
American experience.
Yeah.
Takes me about 2 hours
If
to
you
get
watch
through it.
Game of Thrones on American television, you don't have ads.
You don't have
Really?
ads. No, it's HBO.
What
Just
HBO
runs through.
is.
That's why HBO's pimp.
Do you pay like a
Sometimes
subscription
You're
to
not
H-
so smart.
Did you pay a subscription to HBO?
Yes,
Yeah.
you do. You have to order it separately.
It's the home box office.
Cool.
America!
Fuck yeah.
But I mean, when I watch like WCS America, I'm more interested in seeing players like Neeb and Huck and Drunken Boy and Xenocider and these players that I think have potential
I agree.
in the American scene instead of playing like, I mean, Revival, Alive. Like I'd just rather watch GSL, and I think that's just the vibe it gives. And I mean, I don't know how they fix that. I think they just have to really push to make it mostly offline and force these players to live there. And then I think some of these players will either switch.
Force these players to live there. Doesn't that sound like human trafficking?
Well, it's optional if you want to play. I mean, if you think about it in
That's why
like
you would
professional
define
sports, like in the NHL, when you get
Yeah.
drafted, you fucking move. It's like you got drafted into that team.
Yeah.
Have fun. See you later. So, I mean, no one's getting drafted. They're picking to play in this region. So,
Yeah.
I mean, and I think it's going to be bad when it's like these guys are going to go to the Grand Slam and they're just going to get kind of owned by the proper Koreans, like.
How cool is it to qualify though for the final WCS round? It's like $5,000 just for turning up.
Yeah. Yep. It's
Trip's paid as well, isn't it? So you're taken
Awesome.
care of.
Well, who
through and
knows
through.
if for them, their team might
Yeah,
have
yeah.
to, but that's what they got their team for, right? So,
Well,
I mean, I don't know if I have anything else to say about, I guess,
No, we can go ahead and talk about.
Korea's next.
Yeah, exactly.
Basically, the community census was MLG didn't do enough. It wasn't that great. Mr. Bitter and Rotterdam were good. They need to do more, and it kind of sucked.
Like,
compared
MLG needs to do
some-
something insane to compensate for the fact that they basically have these players that are just not that enthralling to watch. I mean, I think viewership-wise, like, it is the weakest time zone, so that hurts. I mean,
think?
Korea's... I think Europe is, like, the Goldilocks thing. Because even, like, Dota content, when we do Dota content here, it's like a lot of the
But
audience
Dota
is...
is different, I would say.
No, but a lot of, like, when you look at the regional breakdown, a lot of it is still American, but they watch during the European time zone. And I think it's the same because European audience is like these college kids who don't go to classes, and it's people who just don't work.
But if you look at 2000, if you look at Starcraft during 2011, 2012, always the American events had greater numbers.
I think the peak time is basically midnight Central European time, because then it's 3 p.m. Pacific, so
Yeah.
people they're watching. Like, that's the zone you want to hit. And MLG ended up finishing kind of shy of
3
that.
a.m. I
They
think-
closed
didn't they finish
at
like 3 a.m.?
Yeah, 2, 3 a.m. So, because I think they got up to 55, and then it kind of petered off. And I think it's the kind of thing that probably would have kept going up to 65 or so if, like, Snood or something, and people were like, yeah, I want to...
I don't think that the East Coast is that bad. I think East Coast is
It's
a
only
really
6 hour
good.
difference.
East Coast is the best time zone to run an event out of, to
Yeah.
hit that. Like,
Yeah,
Because it's only a 6-hour difference, so you're still
Yeah.
looking at pretty
I think
healthy
that's the best.
I
numbers.
personally think that Iceland is the best place to run an esport event at time zone wise.
Let's go to the Caribbean. How about that?
Yeah, I would agree.
Maybe we
I'd
should
have to agree
run
with
like a $1 million StarCraft 2 tournament on Iceland.
Iceland. Iceland's the shit. Bjorka's got her own island there.
Talking about viewership, though, it's kind of...
Do you see the Team Liquid today?
yeah, well, exactly. I think that's really interesting. But it was funny because Caldor made some blog thing, and he was very, like, kind of insistent that there were huge numbers watching on GOM TV. So despite the fact I think it had about a third, or, you know, between a half and a third of the viewership of WCS Europe Finals, he was like, it probably had more, kind of said. So, I mean, I don't know how many people are watching on GOM TV. I assume some, but I feel like the majority watch on Twitch. I mean, you see a lot of anecdotal people posting both ways, so I don't know, unless GOM TV releases numbers.
But you don't
we'll never
know GOM3's numbers in Korea, though.
No.
Like, I mean, even if no one
Yeah.
is watching from the Western world on GOM now and it's on Twitch, still you have the GOM player in
Yeah.
Korea. So
I heard
and
something
it's a big
about,
player. It's a really big player. In
I
Korea.
saw a post on Team Liquid, people saying Africa or whatever it is, which is the like Korean Twitch, basically had 150K, but I have no idea if that number
Screenshot,
was just
maybe?
some guy. Yeah, there was
Exactly.
no screenshot. I saw like a couple posts about it, but so
Well, we're talking a lot about Korea. Let's go ahead and segue into the Korean WCS finals that wrapped up this week as well. Seoul-Ki actually took down Innovation against all
0-3?
expectations.
Yeah, right.
What
That's
was the
wrong.
score?
That was the thing. Oh, yeah, totally. That totally makes sense. 4-3 was the final score. So Innovation is actually history being made yet again. Went up 3-0, and Seoul-Ki was able to come back through a series of all-ins and then in the final match clutch it out and take the series 4-3. So run it all the way back from the brink.
I was just so happy that I got to watch it live, and Taser
missed it.
Santosis were just telling me that it was just like it was history was being made. Like, I watched history being made with Taser Santosis again.
And again.
But I was just so excited to watch. Yeah, I remember where I was when that happened.
But it's
Why
like
laughing?
it was Innovation's tournament to win. It was no doubt from the get-go.
oh, he fucking blew it
and
so
he
bad.
had
like,
his 3-0. It's like, you know, I don't know how to describe it. I didn't see it live. I'm very sorry I missed it out. But I mean, just seeing his face when he had lost it. Damn. If he don't win another tournament, like one of those majors.
I think he'll win the Grand Slam, to be honest.
Yeah, but still, if he doesn't,
win this.
maybe this still will be in the history books of, like, you know, this
This isn't
guy.
what you want to go down in history
It
for.
was quite
Fuck.
bad because just in general the games were all bad.
Yeah.
like there
Do
was
you
no
remember game 2 though?
no.
Yeah, okay.
They were all bad. That's what I remember. I remember game 1 was like, oh, that was a pretty bad game, and then game 2 it's like, oh, that game. I hope game 3 is better than that game. Game
Just
3,
never got there.
I don't think this game was better. I don't remember now, but maybe it was slightly better. But The games were just not very good. Definitely not. Like, I mean, I think his games.
But what about the hype, Mike? Tell us about the hype, the amazing feeling you felt when Soul King was able
well,
to
history
run it
was
back.
made, so it was epic.
I like the setup they had in terms of caster shots.
Yeah,
Even though it wasn't like, it wasn't to the rule of thirds, but it was pretty cool. I liked it. I liked the fact that the commentators were like, boom, up here, stage behind them. Had a nice feeling to it, like just watching the intro.
Amazing that like they have done almost always at the GSL final.
They always have the casters out. In the
Yeah.
Yeah, but this was like above it. It felt like
Yeah, they've
commentators.
done it before.
It felt like
Above.
commentators.
The commentators above.
Yeah.
They normally do that.
Well, I mean, that's how their studio's default setup now. I mean,
Yeah.
and usually it would be like
Now,
that.
Hellspawn,
It varies
not before.
depending on the venue they go to. But I thought it was really funny they had to use the held mics. That's so funny. 'cause They were using like
Yeah.
you know what you sometimes have used just like.
handheld.
All right, Tasteless, he's spawning, and Tasteless is really bad at holding the mic at like the same spot.
So sometimes you were like trying to listen to Tasteless and you were like, can't really hear what you're saying.
He's casting from the moon.
Or it was just like his mic was too far away sometimes. It was pretty annoying actually. Because
You know what the worst part of a series going 0-3 and coming back is that when it goes down 0-3 and they get ready for game 4, they're like, fuck guys, it's probably ending. We got to get all the advertising in right now. So it's like a friggin' 15-minute break after, I think between game 1 and 2, they had like some audio issues. So they played like, I swear, it felt like 8 K-pop songs there. And it was just,
And then he goes all the way.
Mike, I think you have a GIF incoming.
what did I do there? I don't even...
Like this.
yeah, we were doing the mic
Oh,
thing.
great. Oh, fuck.
That GIF gonna be fucking
History has been
hilarious.
made, Michael.
Fucking tasteless. Can't hold a mic. Oh,
We'll be in
what
some
a
sort of jerk-off gif soon.
That's
History has
alright.
been made.
I had a hard time just keeping it
People will
together.
remember where they were when this
I
gif
said
was
no
made.
better to do that, but
But I mean,
that's a
I
shame.
think that the final was not so hyped just because it was innovation was such a big favorite for it.
I mean, I found it pretty hype because Solkey was like, Solkey's fucking good.
Yeah,
He didn't
yeah.
play good. Neither of them played good, but I don't know. I thought it was, I felt like it was a pretty, on paper before, it was like this final should be sick, and then it wasn't.
Nope,
should
it's
we move
actually
on to
James.
the last topic for Starcraft 2?
actually
How come I
James
get the
gifts.
jerk-off
That's James.
gif? To be honest though, Mike, no offense, I had a way better technique than you. You gotta work with the tip.
Yeah.
You had too much shaft in yours. It's not sensitive enough. If you ever go to Seoul, Korea, you'll learn.
It's everywhere now. All right. And WCS Season 1 finals are coming up this weekend as well, which are going to be happening in Korea as well. Pardon me, Korea.
I
So-
think the big question for Mike is, will this tournament be worse than WCS Korea?
Yeah, I mean, in terms of like
Yeah,
player
it
pool,
is.
you look at the round of 16 groups from WCS Korea, and it's like those groups are better. Like that's just how it is. You got Life, you got Flash, you got everyone else is really good. And here it's kind of like, okay, we've got. I mean, it's gonna be great to see MVP, play the best players in
True.
the world again, like that.
Innovation versus MVP, is that the cool final?
Yeah, it's kind of cool, but it also. I mean, I don't know. I don't see MVP getting that deep. I mean, I think he'll get out of this group, but it's just kind of like I think most of like sorry EG and Axiom, but I don't really see your players going too deep, and it's kind of going to be like the Kespa players, and they're just kind of going to beat up on these guys, and then we're going to be at the most competitive thing, and I mean.
What I like
I
is
feel
that
like it doesn't have the impact of having global because it's just 3 European Zergs kind of thrown in there, and
Two of them in the same group, man. I fucking hate
no,
that.
2 of them in the same group, and all 3 of them in the same groups as the WCS finalists, the Korea finalists. So Solkey and Innovation are both
Yeah.
going to be able to work them over.
and
This-
I mean Roro, oh boy, I think one of TLO or Stefano should get out of Group A. I cannot imagine a planet where Damage gets out over Invitation. I mean, I'm not sure if this is who you play because it's like
It's a good
GSL
question.
style group, and I didn't see it. Actually, wait, go back to it. Click
The
the,
groups
show.
were announced,
Click the
dude.
show. No, that's the group, but
Yeah.
okay. So it is apparently you just go down the list. So yeah, Damage is gonna have a really hard time, and by definition, Tilo and Stefano have a pretty big advantage because they play. In terms of a foreigner getting out of that group, it's more likely because they play each other. So at least one of them is in the winners match. So whoever wins that will only have to win one best of 3 out of 2 to get out of the group. So.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's going to be good. I think I'm kind of more interested in seeing just how it looks and whatnot. It's kind of weird for Korea. Korea has never done these like marathon long broadcasts, and I mean, it's
That's
a
a
lot of
good
money.
point, yeah.
It's good, and innovation is sick. I think SOS is like probably the best pro host in the world now over like Rain. So I think he's really good. So I think it'll be really good games.
Also see how Hero can do.
Yeah, I think Hero out of all the non-Koreans or the Koreans that aren't playing WCS Korea, I think he might have the best chance with MVP. I think he played really good. So we will see.
Also, I think that maybe this tournament would have reached more hype if it has been maybe at least 1 month separated
you mean?
from the finals. It's like too close to each
Yeah.
other.
I think 1 month would be too long, but I think at least a full week would. Especially,
I would like more time.
I would like up to like.
3 to 4.
I'm just gonna say like 2 to 3 weeks, just because. I've seen some esport productions where they've done. I think it's like almost part of the finals, or they've done something and then they've been like, right, it's the next day is where it finishes, and everyone's like, oh, this is where the story cliffhanger is, and then tomorrow we will have that, and
hate that, though.
everybody has a lot of time to write news and stuff.
well, it's like
But-
Code
but-
S. You've got.
But I would have really liked the people from ESL, MLG, and GOM to take the winners and actually do a production day under the contract, where it's like, you have now won, you have to stay an extra, or you make sure people do stay an extra day anyway. But on that extra day, you do video content, and you release this content over the course of a week or 2 weeks in terms of interviews, talking about their training they're going to do, practice, and all this stuff. And then you build this hype, and then the finals come, and it has a separation between it. And then you have like Blizzard can hype it, the community can hype it, and you take enough time to actually put out there what all the players are going into this tournament thinking, wanting to do, achieving, what it means to all of them. And when they have that finals, it's like you actually care on an individual basis for the players, as opposed to it's just some of the best Starcraft players playing again.
Well, and the other
I
thing
agree,
is-
but they should have gone to Korea instead. So like 1 week prior to this event, they should have gone. You should have seen like Stefanos. How is he going to prepare these 3 last days coming into this tournament? What is MVP doing now when he's back in IM's house and then practicing, so on and so forth. So they should have gone to Korea earlier and then done that kind of release and marketing coming up to this final. I don't know maybe they're going to do it. I don't know, but it just feels it's too close.
Well,
It's
I
just
mean,
way too close.
a lot of the players are leaving in 2 days' time.
And when
as
does the
well.
new one start? Do we know? Like after the finals?
I
When
don't
does
know,
the
Monday
next
after?
one? 'Cause that would be horrible
I
to do.
don't think there's any dates announced, but I definitely think it
Like,
will.
it
gonna
needs,
be very
it needs to
short.
be like a month.
I mean, to me, it's kind of weird because part of what makes the Code S finals a 6 is you have that break, you have that downtime where it's like, all right, Innovation and Soulkey have made it. Now we're going to see what happens after they've got a shit ton of time to prepare. And now it's like all of a sudden we're back to the accelerated thing,
Yeah.
and it's almost like it's a step backwards because that's just how it is. I mean, I'd rather see it be like, all right, the group stage gets played out, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And then the bracket part gets played out that weekend, and then the next weekend is the finals.
I would love that too.
For me,
And that would be good because then it's like you've got more of that kind of weeknight content that's like, this is sick. This isn't kind of the Challenger filler league games, right? So I guess my GIF arrived.
I guess my gifts ready.
There we go.
I was going to say, to me, it's kind of like the World Cup every 4 years, and then Ice Hockey World Cup every year. You can afford to miss one. And I don't want to feel that way when it comes to something as prestigious that should be WCS, the official tournament. So
Yeah, because the winner of this tournament is going to be the world's best player at this moment.
so your
Yes.
GIF is ready.
At this
Says
moment, that
chat.
is exactly what he's going to prove. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you feel the same way about the international because the internationals every year,
It's a
like the
GIF.
NHL Stanley Cup.
Put it GIF.
I mean, I've always thought that about the internationals, way too crammed in. It's like 16 teams playing over this tiny, short time period. It's just,
just one massive fucking $2.2 million tournament, man. 2.2 million.
Yeah.
on one.
Well, you know, it's I don't know. It's just marketing events, same as the Call of Duty championships and whatever else. Like it's just, you know, and that's why. Because I mean, this is meant to be a league, whereas it's like this finals is actually a tournament. It's not like a league kind of thing, right? It's just so.
Should we go for the last point with WSS?
Well,
As in, we were saying that the former IPL team continues to produce WCS Today YouTube content. That is actually the show, is WCS Today, where they put out replays, analysis, up-to-date news.
I want to watch this content so fucking bad, you have no idea. Is it out? Because I want to watch it. I look forward to this as much as Game of Thrones, which is by far the most amazing thing to happen to television. Kicks everything's ass. It's like in epicness, it owns like Lord of the Rings.
I feel
Fans,
like-
you know what happened in Game of Thrones? Want me to tell you? You haven't watched it?
anyway,
Okay, fine. But like, what are they doing, the IPL team? I want to see this content. Is it good?
I think it has potential.
Yeah.
Could be on the up and up. Could get better. I mean, to me, it's kind of like, okay, there's WCS 18 hours a day, and now you want me to watch a 15-minute recap of it too. You know, I think they have a team there that they could do things that are fit in better. I feel like if you, especially if, I mean, I don't know if ESL and MLG are going to start weaving this content in to be filler. You know, you close your show off with airing. It's kind of hard to close your show with airing WCS Today because now WCS Today is outdated.
WCS tonight. WCS.
WCS
This morning.
before 4 hours ago.
Yeah. I want a morning show, WCS show.
I want a brunch show.
I feel like this should be streamed live. That would be cool.
Yeah, I want
if it was
Kevin-
streamed live, I'd watch it.
I want Kevin Knock
Especially
hosting
if I
a
was on
morning,
it.
a breakfast, a
I have
Starcraft
interesting
2 breakfast
opinions.
show with croissants, coffee. Just, I don't understand why we don't get WCS 24 hours a day. I love it.
I think a morning show would actually be cool, man. Especially with croissants.
I can't say
It
I'm
wouldn't
not,
work without.
I can't say I'm not impressed at all. I hope they didn't buy IPL to do this. I think I watched the first episode or second or something like that. To me, it was strange they didn't have Kevin Knock, because he's like the face that you recognize and he has good voice, he's good at presentations. Also think that in some ways it's too long and I don't feel it's building up the storyline in the way I like it. I don't know.
I think they talked too
I like
much.
the 5 highlights, but it's like, okay, best part of this game, best part of this game. It's not so hard. You don't need a studio to do it. You can have some random YouTuber do it.
Come on, man. They have $200,000 worth of equipment to do it.
Good.
It's
I'm
worth
telling
money.
you, man. I'm telling you.
I think the need of it though is nice to have a summarize of it, but I don't feel it's like it's not connected to the leagues at all. It's just
yeah, I mean,
living
I
its
think
own
it
way.
needs like
I'm telling you, man. Good morning, Starcraft would work.
Maybe that's the next step for them then. Good morning, Starcraft. Today's Starcraft. Midnight Starcraft.
Just good morning.
Best of 5 Starcraft.
I already. No, I did that.
Best of the week.
But yeah, I feel like it like to do what they do now, they kind of need better graphics and talk more about the standings and so forth. And I think this kind of content will actually get more interesting later into the season where you know it's like MLG's wrapping up, people got WCS points there, another DreamHack event's wrapping up, and then you know I don't know if Aces Rog will give WCS points, if Home Story Cup, but all these little things, and then tying it together and kind of giving good graphics and standings and you know
Yeah,
that
as
kind
the
of
league
stuff.
progresses,
I
there's more
think
and more points.
could be cool. So I don't know. We'll see. I mean, I think they've made big strides because I think the first show was just kind of like, all right, here's this game, and they just kind of like recasted a part of it,
No.
and then like, all right, here's the next one, and they just kind of recasted like the mid game or
Yeah,
something.
this is something that they announced. Though.
Um,
This is what they announced that they would be doing with
and
the show.
so
Who's in charge of the what content gets through? I guess Blizzard are in charge of what content gets through, but who's in charge of the show concepts for the IPL team over at Blizzard? Who's the boss?
I mean,
David Ting?
the boss is David Ting, and I think below him there's. I mean, I don't know who's directly below him.
I want them to. They need to open up an email with show suggestions at IPL or Blizzard, wherever they are now. Seriously though, you've got a fucking cool opportunity. Like all I'm saying is, if someone put me in charge of connecting the WCS storyline around all the events from Blizzard HQ, where you could do shows where you're like, we're going to focus on building this storyline today and this, and we're going to make this guy bad guy, this guy's going to be a bad guy, and then we're going to build him up, and then we're going to shit on him. And it's going to be fantastic. I'd love to do that. I just think that they have a great opportunity to fuck with people's lives, and they're not doing it properly.
What? I spaced there a little bit. Can you just repeat that?
The point of it is fuck with people's lives. That was-
Ow.
I just think that it's such a cool opportunity, and from the content I saw, but I only saw the first one, it was kind of like...
But question: after the tournament is end or broadcast day, how long does this take to get this up? Because it feels like, oh, this WCS today is like 3 days late or something like that.
I don't know. I haven't looked at like. I assume it's like they've been doing it so that it's up to date. Because if it's not, what the fuck? But I mean, to me, the thing is like how
is it 4 hours delay? Is it 10 hours?
Yeah.
Is it
the next
24
day? Yeah,
hours?
exactly.
I think they
30.
time it so that they know there's like a little gap, and then they kind of hit that, and then they release it before something comes. I would assume that's the only way it makes sense to me. But yeah, it's just like when you say it, it's like, yeah, I don't know if it was up to date. Because I mean, to me, like when I want to check the results, I just go look at Wikipedia and see what the standings are, see who won, see who lost, and see what's up, and then maybe I'll look at Team Liquid for the polls to see if people were really into certain games. But like. Watching a 15-minute recap show is boring.
What sounds to me like a more effective idea is to actually just do individual league shows like this. Have it 5 to 10 minutes long league shows that are specifically, WCS America, WCS Europe.
No, I
if
think
you need a
I
recap,
think
you
you gotta-
watch
I think
that,
you gotta-
and you get everything
I
together.
think it's
And
about-
then on a weekly basis, you tie all the leagues together in one big show that you would watch and be like, this is where the standing is this week for all of the leagues across all the different ones, and
What happened to
build the
your
storyline there.
daily esport show?
It's coming.
Coming
Delays.
soon. Looking forward to that.
You are really.
I think they have to figure out. I think there is a need of like summarize it and having highlights. I think
Yeah.
because it's so much content. However, I think that they should maybe try to find a reason to exist. Like
It's
I
time
don't see
zones,
why
man.
people come in to see this.
Yeah, no,
It do have good numbers. It do has like I think 60K on the first episode. That's like kick ass. They have 22K on most of them. And so, I mean, and being less than 1 day up is 8,000 clicks. It's not so bad, but I don't really get why people should tune into this.
Yeah, I feel like it just needs more
And how
of
they
an
find it
X
and where it
factor
is.
to make it
Yeah. It's
unique and interesting, because it's like, yeah, on paper it's a good idea, but then it's kind of like, because this is the kind of content that where it's like, yeah, that first top 5 they release will get to the top of Reddit and get a ton of views. Next one's gonna be a bit less. The next one's gonna be a bit less.
That's how.
And
it
then the one
always is,
after
isn't it?
that is going to be like someone on Reddit is like, hey, we all forgot about these top 5s. I love these. And that's going to go to the top of Reddit again, and they get a bunch. But then that's that.
I think what they should do is what James talked about. After 1 day of content or maybe 1 week of content, maybe this WCS today should have some special interviews from location from each day with the player.
Yeah, that would be
like
cool.
getting five fast questions that wasn't asked, or building something up, storyline coming into tomorrow or next week when he's
Hellspawn.
back, or something,
The new-
player profile.
The news
Face
show,
paint,
the news show
fireworks.
that can pull that off. They can have a journalist on location every time that there's a game or anything like that. If they can actually pull that off, it's the news show that just fucking destroys everything else.
Yeah, but
Because
I mean,
that's the kind of content that esports just doesn't have right now. No,
They have
no news
MLG,
show
they have
has that where they
ESL.
can go and be like, well, we're talking to our guy. He's there live at the event right now, live. Get that in and get that 1 minute soundbite interview after a match.
I
That
think-
shit isn't here yet.
I agree, but I think
If
that
they can do that, and
could
Blizzard
pull it
certainly
off.
has the means,
They could
then
just
it
have
becomes
one
something
guy
completely different.
In Köln, they could have one guy in New York, and could have one guy in Korea
Exactly.
doing it.
This is
I also think that GameSpot, what they have done, is going in that direction.
Yeah.
The problem with GameSpot's talk show or show
Oh.
is that it's too long.
it's half
Like
an
if
hour.
they could narrow it down, and especially those live events parts could be like 3 minutes, maybe tops. I think that would be good. But they
It's-
try to bring it in from live events.
It's
I like
Sasha
it.
on that show.
Yeah, I think actually the last episode of Game Center was like almost miles ahead of the other one. So, but they're on hiatus
I haven't
now.
seen the new
coming
one,
back.
They're still
But anyway, we
improving
can
weekly.
move on, and I mean, I guess to finish off the IPL stuff, they also just launched their WCS portal.
Can we bring it up? Can we get it? I want to see it.
Should have it around here.
The question will it be better than the unofficial WCS site?
Liquipedia is very easy to digest, and I've been looking at those brackets for years now. So
But I like
I
the
don't
unofficial one.
I don't use the unofficial. I use Liquipedia.
There it is.
There we have it. Except that it. Oh, wait, is it working now? Yeah.
So there's the streams on the left. Or
The
what?
stream is embedded in the center
stream
thing
is
if
actually
something is
embedded in the
live.
What's the URL? Is it a Blizzard?
Yeah, it's
site?
wcs.bal.net, I believe.
Yep, exactly.
Cool. So I'll remember that.
So you have your scheduling here. You have your news.
What's live now? It said something's live.
So live now, WCS
watching.
Europe Challenger.
Oh, that's why I'm
League
watching.
Group
It's not
6.
live. It's autoplay. Okay.
No,
We're
that
not
is
watching.
live right now. It's just
Mana,
not
Thor's,
playing
Bishu, and
properly.
Firecake. Yeah.
Yeah, and you see the standing to the right there. Up. scroll
Now
up
this
and
I
up.
instantly did. If you go up a bit, no.
Okay.
Up.
Where?
There.
Here.
This is the thing, and this is poorly communicated for what it. All the leagues have been like, oh, it's the upper bracket and the lower bracket. It's like, no, it's the winners match and the losers match and the final match. Like that's what a GSL group is, or a
Yeah, agree.
dual tournament. It's not a bracket. Like stop calling them brackets. They're groups, and it's the winners match is when you win, you play that.
Yeah. Go back. I want to
that
see the standings.
drives me bonkers.
Go down.
But you can see it as a
Global
double
standing.
elimination bracket though.
Yeah, you can, but it's
Or it is,
not.
it is a dual. A
Yeah.
double elimination bracket.
yes, it is, but it's a group.
Can you click on Damaga or something?
Yeah, you click on Damaga, and then it's kind of
I
funny.
like that.
That's a badass picture already. Yeah.
See, I initially
This
this
is nice.
this is one of the first things I looked at because I was like, this
Wonder how they-
this bio, because when Gosu Gamers just launched their wiki, I was like, well, let me compare some of these pages. I went to your biography page on the Gosu Gamers wiki.
I have a biography plays on GoTo Gamers.
Yeah. On the wiki, yeah. But the
Cool.
thing is, then I went to the Liquipedia biography page of you, and when you put them beside each other, it's like very similar. And so when I looked at the WCS one, I'm reading Damaga's page, I'm like, wait, what the fuck? This is exactly the same as Liquipedia. And then I scroll down more, and I'm like, oh, taken with permission from Liquipedia.
It's right here. Biography
So-
used with permission from
So it's
Wikipedia.
Wikipedia.
Yeah, it's basically like that is straight from Liquipedia. I mean, I don't know.
That was sad.
I don't know what other stuff they use from specifically Liquipedia, but
It says so. Use it.
yeah, no, that's what I said. I said exactly that.
So
Yeah,
But
why
overall, I like it.
why doesn't it have his upcoming match there?
Upcoming events.
Oh, there it is.
upcoming events, yeah.
It's pretty shit though. It doesn't say who his opponent is. It should be like upcoming match: this motherfucker versus this motherfucker in the final takedown. Ukraine's last chance, Damaga. And then have a little preview of the match, and then you should be able to follow him, and you should be like, I want to follow his
Wait,
Twitter.
scroll up, do we-
I
is
want
there?
updates.
Yeah,
I
no,
want
his
to
Twitter's
I want
there.
to install the WCS bullshit on my PC with this
We can buy a shirt, his
Steam.
mousepad.
Yeah, well, you can follow there, but like I want to use the Battle.net Steam, and I want to have him follow him, so I get notified when his matches are. And I want him, and he should have face paint. Why has he not got face paint? This is barely entertaining.
I think at the start though, I feel like there's a lack of where's his team here? Why isn't there like a team logo or something?
That's strange. Where the fuck is the team?
Focused on nationality a lot, not.
I think
but
I think it's really
team-
important nationality, but
But team is not.
yeah, it's
You could have all that
Because
information.
Dimagia don't have a team, that's why I don't react. But
yeah. So it's quite bizarre there, and I do think like the Liquipedia biographies, it's like Damaga's was like citing the Day 9 King of the Beta tournament. Like he did well in the early beta, so he got an invite to the King of the Beta. It's like I think that stuff has to actually
maybe
be
not so
written.
Blizzard-ish.
I think it should be stuff like not your results. I think this should be like, where did Damaga grow up? You know, did he go to university and then drop out? Like
Only
what?
different pictures.
Why did he get that
different
super
setup.
picture?
Yeah, different setup here.
Oh yeah, no, I noticed that too when I was talking between. It was weird. MVP's got a really big one as well, and
Koreans OP.
So I-
Emphasize.
yeah, see,
Oh.
look at that. So there definitely needs to be like some
Discrimination.
I mean, it's a child.
Soulkey, take Soulkey. I want to see Soulkey.
Alright, Soulkey. Soulkey's got one too? What is this?
Well, what is it?
Where are they pulling these pictures from? Because Stefano.
Well, that's from NASL.
Yeah.
That was funny. I remember that.
So IPL has picture from.
So their top guy has a shitty little picture here in the corner. Demaga has a shitty little picture, but like everybody else has cool pictures. Is that what's going on here?
I think
4GG even has
one. It's pretty good. It's kind of like, yeah, you can get all the stuff here. I mean, I'm just so conditioned to use Liquipedia, and Liquipedia is always more updated, so...
Yeah, but
Yeah. But I think for like a casual person who's new and getting into this, we will go to that, have the stream embedded and whatever else, and blah, blah, blah. Like,
it's packaged. I like that. And for Blizzard to promote this site compared to Wikipedia, I just
Yep.
can't compare.
It's a nice start, but the problem is, are Blizzard going to update this, or are they going to leave it how it is? Because that's always, for me, it's like...
Don't they have a whole office for it to update?
Yeah, but like, update it not just in like, oh, he's got a match coming up, actually be like, how do people want to view their matches coming up? How should we highlight their previous game? Should we link replay? Should we link to the VODs of the match? Should we make a highlight reel of the players' best moments in WCS? And should we, you know, do things that build a like kind of a better fan to player connection? But anyway, I don't know. They do what they want.
Yeah. All right, let's go ahead and move on to our non-WCS news. So DreamHack has released their competitor pool for DreamHack Summer, and we also have some notable participants. We'll go to the wiki page, Wikipedia, to check it out. But how excited are you, Hellspawn, that it's finally happening? The DreamHack Summer StarCraft 2 tournament.
Life is good.
Life is good?
Kick ass.
Dude.
It's cool to have such a strong lineup. I think it's
Right
very
here, man.
comparable and maybe
Right
even,
here, this motherfucker.
maybe even stronger than we had in Stockholm. I think there are a lot of cool storylines coming into it. So I'm just
yeah,
excited.
I think it's a good player pool. It's well rounded. I'm shocked. Well, I'm not shocked, but I'm kind of surprised. Like I didn't think Jadon would come back because he qualified, and I think that's kind of one of the weaknesses of this format is like, oh, I qualified, so I'm just gonna chill now. But he's back. Naniwa, of course, back, so that's cool because you know those players might get deep. But I mean, just the player pool is good.
Suppy getting
All
sent
around,
over.
yeah. We actually were there no North Americans at? Was it just Huck at
Suppy's and
Huck and Flo at Stockholm?
Yeah, I think there were a few more.
I think that was the only Americans.
Ghost
Ghost User was there, yeah, too. So, but yeah, a bunch of Americans there. I think Genocider is a player who's kind of very young, and I think he's the kind of player who needs support, man. It's like I'm tired of these teams picking up like these 24-year-old like quasi washed up pro gamers. Like these kids in high school, man. Those are who you want to get. So they'll just play the fucking game and stop whining. But
it's gonna be good StarCraft.
yeah, it's gonna be a really good tournament. Otherwise, not really too much else to say about it.
I don't have any like super big surprise. I think that the good part for DreamHack Summer is that we're gonna bring the final 8 show finally to DreamHack Summer. Before I would say that 2012, the summer event was for sure the worst StarCraft 2 experience. This time we're gonna have a full stage. We're gonna have a full media production with lights, with the LED or the LED screens or LED screens.
LED.
Whoa!
So it feels really good actually. I think that the experience on location gonna be kick-ass, and I think that what you saw in Stockholm you're gonna get this summer also. So that's like the highlight for me, to finally bring a good StarCraft 2 tournament to DreamHack Summer.
Man, that is low prize money.
Low price money, yeah.
Well, it's €20,000. It's not like a low number, but when you look at how many people are playing in it and the competition, and then you think, if I get first place, I get €7,000. It does kind of feel a little bit...
Well, I mean, part of it is you get that seed to summer. It is what it is. I mean,
To
this
winter.
is...
The
th-
top
this
4
is-
will get qualified to DreamHack Winter.
This is
We
the
have
new,
finals.
this is the new prize pool / StarCraft, man. Pretty much $25,000. MLG is doing it. DreamHack has been doing it. Asus is that. Home Story Cup is that.
Yeah.
You know, everything $25,000. So
Puts even more pressure.
do that bare minimum. Get those WCS points. I don't know.
Well, we've already talked about the details for MLG Anaheim, so we'll go ahead and cut over that. Apart from just mentioning again that there was a vast format overhaul of the 25K prize pool, which is what Mike just mentioned here. 128-man bracket, only one stream, no paid trips, and it is actually a Tier 1 WCS event.
What's cool is it looks like for the first time they're going to have like off-site streamers. So they were letting like people who wanted to help cast the event apply. So
I was going to email.
Oh, Me and Apollo said if we were around, we'd try and do a stream. I think that'd be fun to sit here, but we'll see what's happening. But I mean, there's a lot of people. I think NASL. Do you know if is NASL going to help cover Summer? Maybe let's just jump right into the pulse check right here. Is NASL going to help cover DreamHack Summer?
It's a possibility.
It's a possibility. So okay, I think that faint pulse might still be there, guys. I think.
Huh?
A little bit stronger.
I'm not following now. Sorry.
He doesn't watch our show, man.
No, sorry.
We have a segment called
the pulse.
the
pulse
pulse on
check.
the pulse or something.
Ah,
Pulse
right,
check.
It's the pulse
Yeah.
check.
Hashtag pulse check.
No, I think that NASL did a really good job at Stockholm, so I love to have them back for summer.
How do you think NASL is doing in large?
Well, the casters are working for MLG, so I don't know what to say. That's good by me.
Alright.
I have actually no clue.
So moving on, Asus ROG have actually announced that they're going to go through with the StarCraft 2 tournament after all, and it's going to be at the beginning of August.
I was surprised when I heard that they were gonna have a tournament. I mean,
As
they've been
were
planning
we
this
all.
for long, so it's not like that. But going to be interesting.
Oh no, it's definitely going to be interesting. Just some things about some facts about the tournament is that it's a 25,000 USD prize pool. Kind of following the
That's a
trend
lot more
right
than
now.
we had
Is
before.
it tier 1?
They haven't released any.
the
I
thing.
tweeted at one of the SetFI or whatever guys, and they don't even know if they're getting WCS points for this, is what he said. So, yeah, I mean, I imagine this will be at least tier 1. The thing,
At
because
least.
I mean, at least tier 2. So,
At most. it
You
is.
could think. No, but anyway, what did they have before?
I think
Didn't they have like
25
10k
before.
or 15k?
No.
What,
They did
prize money?
10k when we did an eight-man invitational here.
Uh-huh.
It was
And when they were
24.
before last year, when you did it?
The event they had,
I
their
swear it's
prize
20.
money was like somewhere up to like 30k, I think.
Maybe it
Like,
was
Did they have
30.
that much?
I think it was like
Uh,
20 to 30. I think it was
really?
like around 25.
No.
Asus ROG, I reckon it was around 25k.
I'm pretty sure it's the same.
somewhere around there.
Okay, I thought they increased it actually.
I have no clue what I'm talking about, but I'm guessing 25k.
Winter 2012, is that? No, it's summer. Well, I think this was 25 too, wasn't it? Oh, 20,000 for winter 2012. And let's.
That might have been it.
No, but summer 2012 is.
Oh, they had 30. You're correct.
Yeah, so it's 30. So
Cool.
they actually did go down, but
5K.
it's going to
I
be
am
the
awesome.
major casting debut of Idra. at a live
Exactly.
event.
Caldor and Idra
Lucky
are
enough
going
to
to be
get
cast.
that.
Ah, but you
Paired
can't
up with
say.
Caldor?
Can you really say after we left EG? Yes.
I see this as a debut because it's no longer he's a player. All he wants to do is cast, and it's very different when you go into an event
True, true.
as a player because you're just
I
like,
agree.
well, I don't need to try and be hosty or whatever. I'm just going to sit here and be a player and talk about the games. So,
I hope it comes out totally fucking brutal. Now you know.
oh, just like shits on everything.
No, but be 100% honest.
Doesn't have to worry about sponsors.
So
anymore.
shits on everything basically is what you're looking for there because if he's being 100, I mean, if most casters who know anything about the game are 100% honest, half the commentary is just like, oh god, what is he doing?
But to talk about the event, I mean, we did the last one. You know, and part of us building up Asus ROG was like, hey, we're going to help build you up, but then, you know, when you want to do something a little bit bigger, come talk to us then. So they're obviously just doing something more low-key, so we probably wouldn't be in the budgets to do this anyway. But Caldor and Idra is quite lucky they have Idra there, because Caldor's not the most
Yeah, I mean, I
entertaining
feel
person.
it's a bit awkward because it
Yeah.
got announced and kind of there were two big comments. Oh shit, Idra's finally casting something, and where's the good studio? So it's like, if not for Idra being there, kind of that would have been the community reaction. So I mean, hopefully it's a successful tournament because it's just another 25k, and I mean, it's been good in the past. I guess it'll be pretty different this time.
But I mean-
But one other interesting thing just to add as well is that when we were there, we didn't get the opportunity to have the finals on the main stage with an audience and everything. And they said they're bringing that back. So
Oh, really?
Oh, that's cool.
That'll be
That'll be
I
like
mean,
winter
I
2012.
I think
then.
Assembly is a really cool event in the Hartwell Arena. I really like it, and I think that, and I guess it's more like the feeling in Finland or at Assembly that players really like the event. I mean, I think that looking at what Todd did with that player experience or what it
Yeah.
needs, a lot of people actually mention Aces ROG as one of their favorite tournaments, and I always felt I haven't been there for a Starcraft 2 tournament, but I still think that a lot of people and players do like it.
Well, I mean, there's
So it's a popular one, so most likely going to be a good showing from players.
Yeah, I mean, the thing with Aces is they always have their sick PCs. So
Yeah, true.
He knows how to inspire.
he's fine. He won't die. Don't worry.
You did it once already.
But yeah, they always have sick PCs. When we were there, we brought, or not we, but Twitch had Martin and stuff there. So there's all the, nice player lounge area for a relatively small event. That was like, I think the smallest event to kind of get that kind of treatment. So, yeah, it's a good event to go to. And I mean, it's also like, in terms of prize money and whatnot, you've got a really good format. They've kept the same format that, so should be,
Distracted kittens on the show.
I think this is the wrong end, but
Are you trying to get him to jump off?
Okay.
Just let him down because he kind of wants to jump, but he's a bit scared. You can
Wrong
use my chair,
mix.
little kitty.
I can't actually do
No, that's
anything
where you
right
fell
now.
down earlier.
There, it's fine.
Oh, he found the table. Excellent.
Mingles is on my keyboard, so you want to pull up the
Just
dock?
move her.
But how many do you think that could be a tier 1 WCS event? I mean, it's got that
It's got the prize
25%
money.
open.
Yeah.
It's got the same amount of prize money as
It's
other
got
tier
online
1
qualifiers.
WCS events.
It's got online qualifiers as well for the 32 players.
Yeah, no, that's what I meant. It's got the 25% open. So
Right.
I mean, it meets those requirements. So, are there some other requirements like, past prestige or just, be our longtime friend and partner or something like that?
It's just-
Because, I mean, they can make a pretty big argument that they should be tier
They
1.
do have the history. They
You
do have
know?
the history.
So
Yeah, it could be,
it
but
doesn't really
it's
feel
hard
like
to
a tier
tell, I
1.
would say.
It doesn't really feel like a tier 1 WCS
to be honest,
event.
I just feel it's a bit of a mistake for them to actually do a StarCraft 2 event with everything going on in StarCraft 2 right now. I just feel that they could have done other things with their sponsorship budgets, but like other games, it's pretty crowded in StarCraft 2, and if you're doing an event and all you're doing is bringing in 2 commentators, it's like, how good is that?
But you
gonna
don't know what
be?
they're going to do, right?
Not really. Well, no. I know the production team behind it. I know the 2 commentators that that they've said they're going to bring. I don't know if they're bringing anything additional.
Bring her over here. I think he's wondering where Mingles is at.
He's not. He wants to go outside.
He just doesn't know where the fuck he is. He doesn't really just ran around down here.
I don't know. He followed Mingles down here.
Oh, did he?
Yeah,
Oh, he came down.
followed
the
Mingles
mountain?
down
Oh.
here. So I'm assuming he's wondering where the fuck did Mom go.
Oh my god.
He's lost.
Now
it
it's
there.
James
Now
is
Mingles
saying-
is wondering what the fuck are you doing with my kids. She's coming over there to
Mingles
check.
is like protecting. What the fuck are you doing, James Harding?
The
All
show
right,
might
Mingles,
just
all
all turn off, guys. So.
Can be hard to
That's
take.
fucking
Should we
shedding
take the
everywhere
2
now.
last points, Mike?
Yeah, let's do it real quick. So Lucifron and Vortex have joined Mouse, now making it the strongest lineup in that team's history for StarCraft 2.
And this is a really big
Yeah,
pickup, I would
this
say.
is-
This is
I think
massive.
this is huge.
This is massive,
Um,
and it's also a massive blow to well.
I think it's
For
kind of.
Ontario.
I mean, if people didn't know about Loose Front, is basically their brother was the manager. I don't know, just of them with the team, or if he owned the team, or what exactly that relationship was. But I mean, I know that EG went to them in the past and was like, "Hey guys, you should come to our team," and they're like, "No, we want to stay here." I think at that point they weren't ready to commit to being full-time pro gamers as well, so it was a much harder sell. But yeah, I think this kind of represents their move to get in full-time. I mean, Loose Front's been full-time, and Vortex I think is just finishing off some stuff now, and then I don't know if he'll be graduating or if he's taking a break or what, but he's going to be full-time. So I mean, I think it's a good move for them to kind of move up onto that kind of premier organization. I mean, I feel like this kind of makes Mao as a premier organization, because before, they Hasselhoff, who's been on the team forever, and then a couple other players, but You know,
And Mana, you shouldn't count.
Mana,
yeah, no,
exactly.
Mana, I'd say is by far their biggest player.
Mana, and then the Illusion was the most recent pickup.
Yeah,
right?
but I mean, Illusion is big, but you compare it to when they had, like, when Mora was really doing well, when they had Thorazane and Nama. Their roster felt a lot stronger, and I think this puts them there again, if not better. So I think it's huge. I think it's good.
Yeah, I think the move was primarily financial as well, just for the support that they probably wanted.
Yeah.
Caronte is a very small organization from Spain, 2 owners, Victor and someone else. The manager, who was the brother, wasn't an owner of the team.
Okay.
And then basically I know that they were like, we support them the best we can. We're small, but we're, we help them out. And then obviously if they're going full time, they might have been like, sorry, we can't give you exactly everything you want. Which is a shame because I really did like seeing,
It's cool having
Okay.
the kind of regional Spanish team, right?
But it's understandable and it's a bit of a shame, but I'm sure there's best of luck to both. But it's a shame for Caronte, but
And-
who knows?
I mean, also Mouse has felt,
lackluster.
like you said, but not only StarCraft, like all over the board. The last couple of years hasn't felt as strong. And now it's like the Dota team is doing good.
Doing it, yeah.
This pickup makes their StarCraft 2 maybe even the strongest team in Europe, most likely. Maybe one of the biggest at least.
Yeah,
And
it's a,
it just feels like Mouse is stepping it in and getting better. And with Genghis and with their managers who's been there for a long time, I think that the organization is solid, so it's good.
Yeah, Mouse have always kind of impressed me in that way.
Organization-wise,
Yeah.
I've always been nice to work with.
Yeah, like I've always been like they seem to always be able to get players at opportune times and stick around and send people places. I'm really impressed by Mouse, and so I think it's a good fit for any team, to be honest. And they were very honest, Mouse, and very like when their teams didn't do well, they weren't like, oh no, we're gonna change them out. They just gave them time to mature and come back, similar to Mouse Sports Dota. So. Great organization. So we'll leave it at that. Anything else in StarCraft 2, or are we getting ready to wrap this one up?
We're going to, real quick though, before we decide to move on. Don't know if this is a quick topic or not, but spawning has actually been included into StarCraft 2. Just recently, regardless, it was announced that this has been implemented in the game. What it allows you to do, actually, spawning, is that if you are in a party, basically you're playing with the starter edition. You don't have access to the full gamut of what StarCraft 2 can give you in the actual game, say Wings of Liberty or Heart of the Swarm. If you join a party with somebody who has Wings of Liberty, all of a sudden you go from Starter Edition to Wings of Liberty Edition. So you can actually get access to everything that's in Wings of Liberty. If that party then joins, say, a Heart of the Swarm one, taking it straight from here, the example, you gain access to the Heart of the Swarm content. So it's a way of basically leveling up your game without actually purchasing the game. So long as you play with friends, you'll have access to everything that your friend has. So if he's playing a Heart of the Swarm edition of the game, all of a sudden you can play it as well. You get everything so long as you're in that party with him.
It's like StarCraft 2 Lite.
So it's kind of like...
There is a free version of StarCraft 2.
There
you
is,
download the starter
it's called
edition. You
Starter
can only
Edition,
play
yeah.
Terran. Some other
Not many people know
locations.
about it, though.
I think it's relatively poorly advertised. I don't know.
Rather you buy the game. They'd rather you buy the game.
Well, yeah, but that's why they get you to buy the starter edition, so you get the actual game. But I didn't read all the details, so I'm not 100%. I just kind of assume it's like in Brood War or in StarCraft 1, where you can just install it on other things with limited features. It's the same idea, so I think it's good. I don't know. Slasher did an interview with Chris Siggety. He gave me some quote, but this laptop, it gets really hot and turns off. And the quote wasn't that exciting anyway. I think he just said free to play is never happening in StarCraft or whatever. I mean, I think he said that StarCraft just isn't designed at all for skins and the other kind of... Even though they put skins in, so I don't know, but Slasher's going to come out with some interview with Chris Siggety about more of these details and maybe some other stuff they want to do. So, I don't know. It's not that interesting of a topic to me. I think it's good. Kind of lip service to the free to play and acknowledging how big that is. Just accessibility is kind of, I think...
Yeah,
the main point, they're just trying to make the game more accessible.
I think it would be stupid to make it free to play. I mean, they still have one more expansion to release. It doesn't make it. I don't really get it.
Well, this is a step in that direction.
Let's not go into this comment.
Not when we're trying to...
No, no.
Yeah.
Not now, Exit. Not now.
Oh, speaking, one topic we actually completely glanced over, that's actually, in my opinion, very huge. We didn't talk about this last week. It slipped the dock, was that Idzik Ben Bassett, who was what was his official title? I think it was executive vice president, maybe?
Friend of Mike Morheim went to his wedding. That's the title, wasn't it?
Okay, well, he was an executive vice president in charge of global publishing, and he was the guy that if you watch the opening day of WCS Korea, the very start, he was there giving a speech. He was at DreamHack Stockholm, checked things out. He was at BWC last year. He was
We get it. You're the point, make your fucking point, man. He was everywhere. I got it.
Let's say it. He was reporting directly to Mike Morheim.
Yeah, he was basically the point man on WCS and everything, and so he's now left the company. He didn't go anywhere else. He just kind of tweeted his family wanted to move back to New York, so he's no longer with Blizzard.
No. Correct. I think it's sad. I liked Itzik. He was a nice guy in many ways. So I don't know what's the reason, but the thing was that
some of the ways
he worked at Blizzard. I don't know. I think since '90s or something like that.
I think,
then I think he was working for IBM for like 4 years, and fairly recently came back to Blizzard.
Yeah,
I don't
he
know
came back pretty recently. Yeah.
So I think that maybe it was that he came back and it wasn't how it was before, or maybe just that the family wanted to move back. Could be like that. I don't know the reasoning behind it, but as you said, he was heavily involved with WCS, so
which was a huge mistake on Blizzard's behalf. Yep. Don't put a person like that who has to go around to every fucking event to learn what's going on to decide what's happening in esports with WCS, and it was a clusterfuck WCS from the get-go. It still is a clusterfuck. It's not ironed out in a cool way. It's still good because the concept is nice, but it could have been so much better, and he might have been great at business or business development or other areas that he worked in, but he didn't have a fucking clue in terms of where he was starting in WCS. All he knew was, like, the concept was there and it was going that direction, and the execution of it was appalling. And I'm happy that some of the other Blizzard employees are actually probably having a little bit more in charge. Not a bad guy at all, but you can't take somebody outside of esports and be like, oh, by the way, you're in charge of this. It's a fucking stupid idea.
This was James Too Good Harding, heavily involved with the WCS and Blizzard project, especially working closely with Idzik Ben Bassett.
I met him. I was like, he got a lot of shit. Like, he basically came down to DreamHack and he sat around the table with like me, Jeff, In Control Robinson, Mike, and loads of people. And Jeff was just harsh on him in a funny way. But it was like, he was a nice guy, yeah. Mm-hmm. But he wasn't incapable of putting this project where it needed to be. But his experience compared to the time constraints, there was no way he was going to do everything right from the get-go. And I also think that in long term as well, he probably wouldn't have done as good a job as some others. I think in terms of what his other expertise were, he would have been able to run alongside WCS and do a great job in terms of like the marketing, the publishing. But
in terms of running the show, though,
yeah, no, not a chance in hell.
But how heavily involved was he with WCS 2012? Do you think?
I don't think.
I
don't think really at all. I'm not sure because I was going to actually kind of say the point man on that was, what was his name? Ilya Rotelli or something. He ended up leaving / getting poached by Riot. So it's kind of weird to have the two kind of guys who were like kind of project lead or whatever you might call it, big people with WCS, both kind of.
Well, one of them left for League of Legends.
Yeah, no, I said
one
Riot,
of the left for Riot. I can't remember his name. It was like something French, like
You
Pierre.
just
Wasn't it?
How was chat when I was talking? Was chat good?
They're
when I was
fighting
talking?
over each other.
And how's
The
your mom
Dota
and-
guys are telling the Starcraft guys to get out, and the game's dead.
I think we should get some dogs for Shane. Dog puppets instead of kidding.
what finger puppets you mean?
I mean, at least maybe he would listen more. Or I don't know.
Sorry.
Maybe you should have a cat.
Sorry, I
Yes.
wasn't listening, Michael.
All right, I think we're done here.
Yeah.
But
We're gonna take a
at
quick
least
break. I apologize.
James know about Itzik's performance in the WCS.
What about? Did you want to talk about the fist fight you got into with him, or?
Huh? No, that was fisting.
Oh, okay, sorry.
You've got it all wrong.
Hellspawn doesn't
now
even
I
know
get
how to
it.
react.
So, are you saying that I'm wrong in my perception of what he was able to achieve?
Nah, I just
Because you
wondering
said
where
he-
your perception came from, or that was I was questioning.
Talking to him, talking to people about him.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, though, because I'm not involved directly with WCS, I don't work directly with him. So, what's your perception?
I like the guy.
Yeah, was he awesome?
In many regards, yeah.
Would he have done a great job?
I assume.
Did he do a great job?
I don't know.
You don't know.
I don't.
Did you not work with him?
WCS, so I don't know.
Being to speed now.
Okay.
I mean, my impression was kind of
Let's have a meeting.
my
about
impression
this.
was kind of similar to you in that he was just kind of an outsider, and I feel like with a project like WCS, you want someone with a fuck ton of esports experience, and so that's kind of an obvious.
He
shortfall,
was the
so-
best of one world, but you kind of needed to be the best of both worlds to get that project up and running in the right way. But luckily enough, kind of like it's still good, the project,
it's
and it's going to
going
stick
good.
around and it's going to do better. So anyway, we'll leave it at that.
Yes, we will. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll get into Dota 2 with Bruno.
That's right.